everybody. My name is Maddie Bunten. I'm president of Fishbowl Stand-Up Comedy Club here at Mizzou. And welcome to our first and only show of the semester. Obviously, it is a bit of a different format than we usually do because of the current pandemic at hand. But we still hope that you guys will enjoy and look out for content from us in the future. Follow us on all of our social medias, which will be listed in the description down below. So, first up today, for our first annual show of the 2020 school year, our Vice President Man of the Hour, Sean Greene. Yay!
How's everybody doing tonight? All the awesome fans out here. I don't know what the thought process behind pretzels were, but was some asshole like, there's not enough crust on bread? I can make those kind of jokes because I'm gluten-free. Bread is my enemy. Since I'm gluten-free, I've had to shop in kind of the all-natural part of the supermarket. And there's a couple weird labels I've kind of noticed since shopping in there. The first thing is that every chip is kettle cooked. I don't know if you guys know much about history, if you know much about the process of kettle cooking, but here's what I know. No one's used a kettle since the 17th century. And the other weird thing that I see is everything has a little sticker that says all natural. And I've never understood why that is so necessary. That's like if everyone wore a sticker that said I'm human. Like, I kind of assumed that, but now I'm suspicious. But there's one weird thing, one thing that I can't get over, and it's this nutritional yeast. Nooch. That's what they call it. Now, the thing about nutritional yeast is that it's a fungus that kind of tastes like cheese. Kind of. I don't know where they discovered this, but I have a feeling that some guy was just licking something on a tree and he's like, hey man, this kind of tastes like cheese. Richie, get over here. You got to try this. It tastes like cheese, man. You know, Richie comes over. Holy shit, man. Why are we eating Doritos? We could be licking this tree. The one nice thing about nutritional yeast, though, is that you don't get the cheesy residue that you get with, like, Doritos or Cheeto Puffs. I don't know if you've ever had Doritos fingers. You know, where it gets so bad that you have to wash your hands before you do your business. Like, you don't want to get the cheesy residue all over your private area. So you got to do 2 washes, one in and one out. Speaking of, like, washing hands coming out of the bathroom, why do we always assume that if someone's, like, about to shake a hand after they've taken a piss, that they got to emphasize, oh, I just washed them? Like, what, did you think I might have peed on my hands? Was that even a possible thing that went through your head? But it kind of is, and I don't know why it is. But if someone has a wet hand and they don't emphasize that they just washed them, I will assume that they just took a hot piss on their hands. That's just where my head goes, and I think that's human nature. Yeah, speaking of bathrooms, man, what's the deal with plumbers? And specifically, plumbers' butt. I don't know why they got stuck with it, but I have a theory. I think, you got firemen, they got cool stuff. But, like, plumbers, they're just known for, like, having a 1/4 inch of their ass hanging out. That's, like, their only thing. I think they tried to, like, coin the term, like, plunge your arm. Like, yeah, we got cool biceps, man. But it didn't catch on. And so they got stuck with plumber's butt. But I think there is a kind of logic there's a kind of logic in the plumber's butt. There's an art to it. I think part of plumber's butt is kind of like the plumber letting the bathroom know that there's a new butt that's about to join the madness. You know, so the plumber has a process. They kind of, lower their pants a couple inches, let out a little squeaker, and they get the bathroom, they get the toilet adjusted. I kind of imagine it like a horse whisperer. I'll be honest, I have no idea what plumbers actually do. I just wanted an excuse to talk about butt cracks. And here's my final take of the night. Why can't we scratch them? I mean, of all the areas on our body, all the nooks and crannies, we can't scratch the itchiest part? That, to me, is like there being a $20 bill on the ground and not picking it up because it might have fecal matter on it. I know it's covered in shit, but it's $20, and it's standing right there. So, you kind of look around, act humble, act like you're not going to do it. And then you scoop that shit up with all your might. That's all I have for you guys.
A round of applause for safe sanitary practices. All right, thank you, Sean. That was a very interesting set filled with health food, pee, and poop. Checked all the boxes. All right, so next we have a second-year member of our club here to dazzle you with his amazing set. It is Felix Wang, everybody.
Hey everybody, I'm Felix Wang, and let me just tell you, I had a pretty wacky Friday night. I don't know about you guys, I definitely like to go wild on the weekends. Not only did I spend $66 on groceries, I switched from white bread to whole wheat. Sorry, ladies, no autographs. Anyway, so besides that, I also decided to get Hy-Vee Chinese food because I had to show my appreciation to what Americans have done to my culture. God bless America. So I go outside and I go to my car, and as you know, I'm a genius. So my mom calls me and she's like, "Hey Felix, how's it going?" And the thing about Asian moms is, first of all, if you don't respond to them, they'll cut off your tuition and then they'll cut off your head. So yeah, so I talked to her for a couple of minutes, and then I'm like, "Bye, mom," blah 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 blah. So I return my cart and I realize, wait, where are my keys? I look in the cart I returned, it's not there. I look in my pocket. It's not there. So using physics, chemistry, and differential calculus, I realized that I locked my keys in the trunk. That's no problem, right? I will do what any rational person will do in this situation. I attempt to force open the trunk with my bare hands. Well, even with my Mr. Universe level physique, the 2008 Ford Mustang just proves to be too powerful for me. So that's okay. I have spare keys at home. Let me go get them. I start walking home and I realize, A, it's 4 miles away. B, apparently getting hit by cars really, really hurts. Though I wouldn't really know, Anyway, so obviously, this might be a surprise to you guys, but I actually do have friends. So let's call them I and J in this case. All right, so I called Jay, and he's like, "Hey, Felix, what's up?" And I'm like, "Oh, hey, how's it going, man? I hope you're having a great night. I left my keys in the trunk, and my spare keys are at home. Could you take me home and then to the store?" "Sure, Felix, I'd love to help you out right now. Unfortunately, I'm in Colorado on top of a mountain." Like, first of all, dude, what the fuck are you doing in Colorado on a Friday night? Am I just not cool enough to go on 8-hour trips to the Rocky Mountains? Like, get a life, dude. So now I call I next, and he's like, "Hey, Felix, what's up?" I repeat the same spiel, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in Chicago with my girlfriend." First of all, I didn't even know you had a girlfriend. I think you just made her up. Second of all, why is everyone taking these long trips? Why is everyone going to Colorado and Chicago and not bringing me along? I feel excluded. So then I realized I actually don't have any more friends after that, so I had to start going down the whole list. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm at a restaurant doing a shift. I got an exam. I got a shower. I got important things to do. So at this point, I think they're just fucking with me and like trying to make more and more extravagant reasons why they can't take me home. I guess I really just missed my friend Sam's space launch, huh? Very sad. All right, so now my next idea is, wait, lock shops. They deal with locks, right? And I call the first number, 4.8 stars. Great reviews on Google, 24 hours a day. Phone number's out of service, automated operator doesn't want to listen to me talk. So I call the next one. And he actually picks up. He's like, this is a lock shop. I'm like, yeah, by the way, I have a problem with my 2008 Ford Mustang. I don't even really know about that, but maybe you could try. And I'm like, okay, thank you very much for your help. I'm gonna go now. Much appreciated. Goodbye. So I think he told me to go kill myself or something. I have no idea. So anyway, I realized at this point I should probably just like get an Uber to go home, which I could have done in the first place if I didn't really want to test out my bicep strength. But so I send out one last desperate call to help to a friend I barely even know from a mystical time. He responds within 10 seconds and picks me up in 5 minutes. Hey, guess that worked out after all. And I get home and I realize I left my room key in my room too. I can't get in my room to get the spare keys to my car. So you know what I do? I take a butter knife and I slice through my lock. This is not the first time this has happened. So if there is a string of robberies in the Columbia area, I swear to God, it's not me. Anyway, so what's the moral of the story? There is none. Except maybe you should eat white bread instead.
Don't mind me. Just making sure you guys don't get coronavirus. All right, next up. Next up, another second-year member of our club. She is single, so her number will also be listed in the description down below. Welcome to the stage, Emily Schoneman.
For legal reasons, please do not contact me after the show. So, I'm fat. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I think I've kind of accepted it at this point that at 22 years old, this is probably the best. This is what my prime looks like. So I'm okay with that. And you know what I've noticed is that for a lot of people, their biggest fear is that they're gonna gain weight after high school. And like for me, since I've always been fat, I don't cry to my therapist that I'm fat after high school. I cry about real problems, like why my cats don't love me, why my Sims die in house fires that I told them to extinguish, why peaches look like they will be hard and then they are soft. And like one thing that I've noticed throughout this pandemic is that being single is incredibly hard, especially for women. And I think it's mostly in part to do with the fact that we have to deal with dick pics more than usual. And I was talking to this guy, emphasis on the was, before the shit hit the fan. And I think I kind of noticed that when we went into lockdown, all the romance of sexting died. And let's be clear, sexting is not inherently sexy. It's very misleading, especially when you look like the toe that's peeked through that hole in your sock. It's just strangling, and you're just chunky and round and red and in pain. But anyways, I was talking to this guy, and he had Snapchatted me really early in the morning, like 6 a.m. And my first thought was, oh, he thought of me right when he woke up. You know, very naive. So when I opened it, I noticed that it was just his dick out. in his car. And my first thought was, where were you going? Like, were you just casually driving around with your dick out? Like, at 6 a.m. as well, like, where that early were you going that you just had to have your dick out? You just need to let me know. So, like, naturally, I didn't respond. And, like, later that night, he messaged me again. He was like, confused as to why I, at 6 a.m., just didn't have the energy for that. And so I, just being cheeky, said, well, is there ever a time when your dick is in your pants? To which this motherfucker snapped me back another picture of his bulging boner. Right, ladies? And he said, just really hits the spot. And he said, my dick is in my pants and I'm still hard for you. And I think I was so starved for human contact that I genuinely was like, oh, he listened. And it's like reasons like this, I knew I was gonna die alone pretty early, You get that feeling, You just, when you know, you know. And I had this experience last year where I sat next to this kid who I thought was pretty cute in one of my classes. And we hadn't said more than probably 4 words to each other. But I was convinced he was the one. And, I had noticed throughout the year that he got really high scores on all the exams, to which I was like, this is my in. I have worked out every possible failure of Catty Herons and Mean Girls, and I know how to get this man to fall in love with me. So I was going to feign confusion, which wouldn't be hard because I was pretty fucking lost in this class. And then I would get his number. One thing leads to another. Boom, we're married. We have 6 kids and a 401k. So the last exam of the year is approaching. And, I was like, this is my chance. I'm going to take it. So I approach him after class. And this is how I imagined it went. Hey, can I have your number? Maybe we can study together after class sometime before the exam. Just let me know if you want me to give you that. When in reality, I had just had my eyes dilated at the optometrist, and if you've ever had your eyes dilated, you know that this is the most blind you will ever be in your life. So I couldn't read shit, and so when he gave me his phone, I just typed what felt right, and then I just gave it back and ran away. I probably could have done a better job if I had actually closed my eyes and done it behind my back. Probably would have been more accurate. So a couple days goes by and I haven't heard anything, and I was like, I'll just fuck right off. You think you rejecting me is gonna hurt my feelings? Like, I have dudes sending me their dick at 6 a.m. Like, I've got options, okay? So a couple days goes by and I haven't heard anything, and so I was feeling moderately wounded, and it was the night before the exam, and I'm in the library studying because, let's be honest, I had banked pretty hard on siphoning some brain cells off this dude. So now I'm like, great, I'm lonely, depressed, and gonna fail. So I'm studying, and who should I run into at the library? None other than this dude. And so now I'm feeling a lot less brave, and I'm trying desperately to avoid eye contact. And he walks right up to me, and he said, hey, I tried to text you, but you gave me the wrong phone number. Thank you guys so much. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, doing the hard work on the front lines. All right. We salute our healthcare workers, our essential workers. Thank you, Emily, for that awesome set. Up next is our awesome video director, Eddy Frumkin. Yay!
Thank you very much. And one of the things that I don't tell that many people is I played the clarinet in high school. People are like, is that an instrument? Does that really exist? And clarinet doesn't get to be in a distinguished genre. It doesn't get to be in jazz and classical music. So we're just invisible. And then it gets even worse in marching band. People call me Squidward. It's not the worst thing that can happen. They don't know Squilliam. I can be as great as him. And I don't really like marching band that much because I just want to be a star in the band, but we have to be in unison. I have to put my right foot out with the other's right foot, and I just want to go off tempo and just be the first one to get to my spot in time because I'm going against the clock here. And it's sometimes noticeable when we play around, and my band director will say, Eddie, can you please come here? Sure. You do realize that there is no I in team when you try to get to your spot on time. But there's an I in time, teacher. I'm trying to get to my spot on time. Well, you need to do with rhythm, not with speed. And after that talk, I realized that it's not really worth it for me, but I still have to go to the band football games, and it's not fun because we suck. We can't do shit in football, and in the games, I have to be there for the first half and half of the third quarter, and I am so hungry that we can't eat in our marching uniforms, and I don't have any other choice but to put a Pop-Tart in my dick and go to the bathroom in between the third and fourth quarters because that's when the teachers and the drum majors aren't asking about where I am. I'm not much needed. As for clarinets, we don't provide the sound. We just do this. And only saxophones and drums carry the show, so I can do whatever the hell I want. And I even sometimes will not have my marching uniform fully zipped up. I'll just have it zipped out and have them see my overalls because I'm done with this shit and I just want to go home and just watch TV. And that's my marching band routine. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Eddie, for that marching band routine. Next up is our treasurer, one of the founding members of Fishbowl Stand-Up Club, Ben Prentiss, the man himself, everybody. Yay!
I've been trying to figure something out for a while. I'm still not sure whether or not I'm supposed to shave my asshole, cause it's like a lot of hair, I'm not gonna talk about this tonight, actually. Okay, it's just like if I am gonna shave my asshole, right? What do I use? Okay, cause I feel like a razor, it's a tight angle down there. Like it's like 175 degrees down there. I feel like I'm gonna cut something, and you can't like wax it, right? That just sounds horrible. And the thing is, I have hair on my like ass cheeks too, so like if I am shaving my asshole, where do I stop? Like where's the line? Because I don't want to have some weird like hairline that just ends up looking like an ass chap with my hair. I'm not very good at talking to people. Like a lot of people think since I do like stand-up comedy, I'm like super confident and outgoing, but in reality, I'm pretty shy. Like especially with women, like I can't flirt at all. My idea of flirting with a woman is just like making occasional eye contact with them from across the room and hoping that they walk up to me and carry the entire conversation. I think it's because like I don't have like an angle, like I'm just a white guy There's at least 12 of us. What differentiates me from the other 12 white guys? Nothing. Maybe if I was like British, I'd have a better time because I could just walk up to a girl and be like, hello, love, and then we'd be married. Just like that. British people can actually marry whoever they want. Even if I did like work up the courage to go talk to a woman at like a bar or something, what would I even say? You know, because like I could go up and be like, hey, and she's like, hey. And I'm like, I saw you from across the bar. I think you're pretty cute. And she's like, oh, thanks. And I'm like, so am I supposed to shave my asshole? Like, are you the one I talked to about that? No. You guys ever go down like a weird pigeonhole on the internet and learn about some crazy shit that you never thought you'd know about? I learned about this new disease. Okay, listen to this. 75% of white babies, this is a scientific fact, 75% of white babies are ugly as shit. It's a disease called white baby syndrome. White babies are cute in the way that like a bulldog is cute. Like they're just so fat and ugly, you want to protect it from the world. I was a white baby once. And that scares me because I'm like, well, what if I had white baby syndrome? So I went home one day and found an old picture of myself as a baby. And I was one of the 75%. I was very ugly. I came out of my mother's womb with like a full head of thick, dark hair. I kind of came out of my mother's womb kind of looking like a 50-year-old Armenian man. Which, like, it's not a bad thing to look like an Armenian man. It's just not what you want a baby to look like, typically. It's tough being a white male. It's tough being a white male because... It's tough being a white male because I feel like we shouldn't be allowed to have opinions on things. Like, I feel like white men should be allowed to have opinions on, like, golf and mayonnaise, and that's it. Like, I feel like every conversation with a fellow white man should just be like, hey, did you watch the golf yesterday? No. Try any mayonnaise? Yeah, I switched to light. All right, have a good day. That one didn't do well with the room. One of the things that's really been pissing me off about my fellow white men lately is I see a lot of them trying to, like, explain away their racism. Like, they'll, like, do something or say something racist, and someone will get offended. And they'll be like, no, I have a ton of black friends. I'm the least racist person of all time. And it's just like, that's not what we do. Like, we can't do that in that situation. If someone's genuinely offended by something we say, we apologize first and foremost, and then we listen to them, and then we do better next time. It's like, as a white man, we have all the privilege in the world, and the one thing we can't do is explain away our racism. Actually, I take that back. There's one place that we can explain away our racism and get away with it. Court. All right, I'm Ben Prentiss. Thank you, guys. Bro. Everyone give it up for Maddie Bunten!
Wow, I love that the fucking radiator back there is just banging away. What is that? What is the deal with that? Yeah, I hope it doesn't. I was like getting a little nervous because I was like, okay. All right, guys. Up next, this is very exciting. We actually managed to get a new member. Yay! New member, brand new to the club, so give him a big round of applause. Everybody, welcome to the stage, Liam Greim.
First bit of my stand-up's just going to be me struggling with the mic. I came to college really for two specific reasons, to meet single women and to waste money on a completely useless major. But, I mean, to be fair, this is Mizzou. Even most of the women here came to meet single women. But yeah, so far I've only really been able to, I forgot to take my mask off, but so far I've really only been able to accomplish one of those goals, but business classes are going pretty great. So apparently to meet single women, you have to actually be good at talking to single women. So I ended up having to download Tinder, which is never really a proud moment. It kind of feels like after dinner and the sink is full of like dirty food water, and you're reaching around trying to get a spoon while your very Catholic family is watching you try and do it. So like you're wrist deep in there, like elbow deep in there, struggling to find the spoon, and your grandma's staring at you. She's going, Liam, you know, it has to be the right kind of spoon. Have you found the spoon yet? It's got to be a special kind of spoon. And I'm like, yeah, Grandma, I know. I'll get the spoon. I'm looking for it. And my mom's standing over here like, have you tried a fork? I feel like you look like you want a fork. You know, we'll still love you if you try the fork. It's like, Mom, I don't want the fork. I'm trying to get the spoon. Please stop. You know you're not going to get the spoon. You are never going to get the spoon because there's too many soggy pieces of asparagus just limp lying around. You're grabbing the asparagus. You're not going to find the spoon. No, so I ended up having to download the premium version of Tinder Gold, which is apparently the most expensive way to find out that you're completely unfucking dateable. Okay? It's like you're trying to get the spoon, but now you've dropped your wallet in there too and turned on the garbage disposal. If I can speak, I forgot to turn off the garbage. Thank you. No, but I don't know if you can tell by now, but I don't get a lot of matches on Tinder. But when I do, it's always someone I work with, which is weird. But it's kind of nice because you don't have to really go through the screening process, you know? You already know kind of how bad of a person they are. No, so I matched with this one girl on Tinder who I work with, and we got to this weird point in the conversation where we were talking about what we thought the world would look like in about 50 or so years. And she thought the world would kind of revolve around human beings being enslaved by robots. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. Okay, human beings are not anywhere near worthy of being enslaved by robots. We're lazy as shit. You want to see how lazy we are? Go to any Walmart in the Midwest, okay? Go in, ask an employee find something on the shelf that's not there. Ask an employee when that'll be back, or if they could go into the back and find it. They will go into the back, stand there for about 15 seconds, come back and tell you it's just not there. They don't have it. They will not look for a second. You know how you want to know how I know that? Because I worked at a Walmart. I did that over and over again. Every day, every time someone asked me, just go back there, stand there for about 15 seconds. I once saw the very girl I was talking to come to work high, and she asked out 5 different men that day. She told each and every single one of them that she was in love with them. I mean, granted, they were all the same man, but to her, they were 5 different men. I once saw an employee break a broom in front of a manager and then put it into the garbage can like nothing happened at all. And by saw an employee, I mean I did that. I was kind of counting on their cataract surgery not going well. They had a really good optometrist. It didn't work out for me. I once saw an employee put a spider in a Pringles can and blow vape emissions into it like a makeshift gas chamber. And when confronted about it by a manager, he said, "Fuck you, bitch," opened it, threw the spider at her, and walked away. They matched on Tinder and have been happily married for about 3 years. Meanwhile, I have a date in 30 minutes with a woman who I'm pretty sure is O.J. Simpson in a wig. Wish me luck. That's all I got. Yeah.
See, at first Ben started doing this bit to be nice to me, but now he's doing it to be mean to me. And I recognize the difference. And I can tell the difference. All right. I'm talking now. What? Oh, okay. It's back now. All right, thank you, Liam, for that excellent set. Next up, is our last performer. Excellent woman, all around great gal. She got us this space, so thank you. Tricia Carver-Horner, everybody.
All right, gonna take my mask off so y'all can see my sexy ass face. So we've got this mic, and Maddie has been doing a great job cleaning it. They've been doing amazing. But the only thing that I can think about every time they wipe it down is the fact that there is 100% chance that this mic has been inside somebody's ass. Look at it. Look at it. This is a theater building. That's all I'm gonna say about it. And leave that there. But anyway, COVID has been giving us excuses to do things that we shouldn't do, didn't used to do. Like, I can email any of my professors and be like, oh, sorry, I can't come to class today because I sneezed 2 weeks ago and I'm concerned. Like, and they just have to be like, okay, that's fine. See you next year. Like they can't do anything. So I'm like wondering how far we can take it with excuses. Like, could I email one of my professors, like out of nowhere, and just be like, hey, dude, sorry, I was feeling real horny last night, so I didn't do the discussion questions. Is that okay? Like, I think that I could probably do that, and the teacher would just have to be like, as long as you're being safe with the virus. So anyway, I feel like maybe some people could do that. I don't know if I could do that. Like, I don't know if I am, like, Greek life enough to do that. But what I will tell you is that I think I was born in the wrong century. Like people are like, oh, I was born in the wrong decade. Like, I would have been, like, the best. I would have been a roadie. No. I would have been the most expensive prostitute in 1500s Italy. Like, the Renaissance era. Like, I could be dying of syphilis with a close female companion at my side. But I am paying thousands of dollars to get a degree in fucking clarinet. And if you've seen Eddy's set, he's 100% correct. It is the worst instrument. There is no reason why anybody should be allowed to play it. But it does mean that I regularly have something in my mouth to stop words coming out. So I guess that's worth it. I guess that's why my mom and dad keep paying for college. Clarinet shuts me up. But anyway, hot people. They get to do whatever they want. Literally anything. And everybody's like, oh, okay, they're hot, that's fine. Like, I was watching a dating show, I think it was Love Island, so I'll try to do the accent. And this guy out of nowhere was like, she's like the ketchup to my hot dog. It's the best combination in the world. And then I'm like, what else are they saying to each other that's not on camera? Like, she's the condom to my circumcised penis. She is the dog to my peanut butter covered dick. That was 2 dick jokes, by the way, if you're counting. She reminds me of my mom. That last one has happened to me. I was sitting at a table with an acquaintance, friend of a friend, not a date at all. He just out of nowhere was like, oh my God, I've been staring at you for 10 minutes and I realized who you remind me of. And I was like, a hot person? And he was like, my mom. You remind me so much of my mom. And I was like, Oedipus? At Mizzou? It's like that, like reincarnation. I was like, so do you want to fuck your mom? And he was like, do I? And then I left. And then the next week school got shut down, so we didn't have to talk about it again. But I wouldn't be surprised if this microphone had been in his ass. I'm telling you, men, we've established that men are bad in general. Like, yeah. Yeah, I'm asking for applause from the 6 people that are in front of me. I'm just asking, what else can I ask for applause? I'm trying to think of like some buzzwords. Pussy. Yeah. All right. What else do I have to do? I'm like running out of time here.
We're getting meta, which is not good. Not good for comedy. It's not funny. I don't know if you can see it in the frame, but there's a ladder right there that I might climb as soon as I'm done talking. So stick around for that. I don't know. That's all I got for y'all. I will see you all hopefully later. Bye.
Yeah. All right, guys. I told you that Tricia's set was the last set that I had. I lied because I don't know if you guys have seen a show before, but because probably not. But because I am president and because I can do what I want, usually at the end of the show I go through and I roast everybody that has performed. So we're gonna do that to keep up a tradition and to cover up for the fact that I did not have time to prepare a set for the show. So we're gonna start with Sean Greene, Vice President Sean Greene. I can't roast Sean. He did a bit about healthy food. His life is more put together than mine will ever be. On to Felix Wang. I can tell you Felix's story is 100% true. He sent a message into one of our group meets. Oh, okay. Timer's going off. He sent a message into one of our group meets for help and no one responded. On to Emily Schoneman. I'm a lesbian, but when I listen to Emily tell me what she's been through, I feel like I need to block every man I know from contacting me just in case something happens. On to Eddy Frumkin. Eddie doesn't need to tell us that he was in marching band in high school. He just kind of gives off that marching band vibe. On to Ben Prentiss. I have heard him do this do I want to shave my asshole bit so many times to the point where I'm afraid he's actually going to start looking for new material. And we're going to be hanging out one day and he's going to come walk up to me. He's like, should I shave my ball sack? I don't know. And then exploit my answer for content. On to Liam. Liam has revealed that he takes business classes. And I think by just taking one look at him, I can't say any of us are surprised by that. On to Tricia. I also can't roast Tricia. Not because I can't find something about her set that I could probably pick apart, but because I feel absolutely terrible that we made her social chair in the year of a communicable pandemic. I feel so bad that we did that to her. So that's the end of the show, everybody. Thank you for coming, all 6 of you that attended. And to the people who watched, thank you for watching. Hopefully, obviously we don't know how long COVID is going to continue. Hopefully not long, because I think, the longer this goes on, the more and more of us become just a little more like not human inside. But hopefully we'll be bringing you more awesome online content. So please follow us on all of our social media. It's again listed below. And have a great rest of your day, night, 2 a.m. Whenever you're watching this. Have a good time. Thank you.